If you're here, you're probably wondering, why is it so important to set boundaries in your relationship? Stay tuned, I'm gonna tell you. Did you know boundaries, healthy boundaries, can actually help you have more self-worth? I'm gonna talk to you about why boundaries are critical for your self-worth. Stick around because I have a free gift for you at the end that takes boundaries to a whole new level that you're gonna want to get. I've been running a women's group for 5 years, and if you were to talk to the women in that group, they'd say that for Brannon, everything comes back to boundaries. Now, you think about it, boundaries, that just seems like telling somebody to stop something or not. It's actually much, much more than that. Boundaries have everything to do with showing up as an authentic, healthy person who actually lives their purpose. Now, I might be taking this a little too far, but listen to what I have to say about boundaries and why they're so important. Somebody with low self-worth believes that their truths aren't very important. Now, boundaries are so much more than just saying, please don't do that to me. When somebody breaks your boundaries, what they're doing is they're doing something that goes against your values, your inner truths, something that just doesn't feel right to you. When you lack self-worth, you don't trust yourself to live in those values, to step into those truths. When you go from being an unboundaried person to a person who actually steps into their truths, you start to experience things like trusting yourself, like knowing that you can stand up for yourself, that you can fight for your truths. And as you do that, you feel empowered. You feel more self-worth. Simply put, boundaries are knowing where you stop and someone else begins. So what that means is when you're a boundaried person, you're not taking on all of their emotions. You're also not allowing them to do things to you that don't work for you. You step up and step into your power. You feel empowered and you're able to protect yourself and to protect who you are. Because of this, boundaries are actually good for relationships. Now, you think boundaries actually disconnect you, that they push you apart, but boundaries support love, support connection, because when I feel safe and I know who I am, then I'm in a space that I can open up, I can empathize, I can be intimate with another person. So it's critical that I have those boundaries so that I can connect in my relationships. You guys, I got even more good things that come from boundaries. But before I go to that point, please subscribe to my channel. With boundaries, having healthy boundaries, this is what happens. When you lack boundaries, the reason you lack boundaries is because of fear. It's fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear that somebody's not going to accept you. So if somebody comes to me and they start breaking my boundaries, and I don't want them to be upset or I don't want them not to like me, then I'm going to give in. I'm going to give up my truths. I'm going to give up my values. There's this dilemma that exists where you weigh out the relationship versus your truths. And if the relationship always wins, then what you're doing is trying to get your worth from the other person. When you know who you are, when you trust yourself, you'll be honest in that relationship regardless. And believe it or not, good, healthy people will be attracted into your life because you're a healthily boundaried person, not toxic people who want to break your boundaries. A person who lacks boundaries can actually set themselves up to get used by another person. A good indicator of lacking boundaries, and ask yourself if you have this, but a good indicator is resentment. If you have a lot of resentment in your relationships, one of the issues and one of the problems with that is that you are lacking boundaries. It's not just the other person's fault, but you need to step into your truths and deal with that conflict and be honest with them so that you don't have that resentment. When I know who I am, I don't need another person to feel my worth. When I know who I am, then I can step up into my power and step up for me and create healthy relationships. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it helpful. Now, I've developed a free resource that takes you way more into depth and gives you some real tools to reset your relationship. So please check out the link in the description for that free resource. See you next time.